Merry Christmas everyone! We are celebrating Christmas a bit differently as we are here in Bicheno, Tasmania, Australia. As a Brit, Christmas Day usually means cold weather, jumpers and cosy traditions, but this year we're swapping that out for sunshine, sea air and charming coastal towns. We'll be exploring Bicheno, enjoying an Aussie-style Christmas dinner, and if we're lucky, we might even spot a few of the famous little penguins. This is a Christmas like no other, so let's get into it. Good morning from our Bicheno by the Bay Lodge. We're about to go out on our trek around this coastal town and it should be beautiful. So we've got stuff like beaches, blowholes, lookouts, and hopefully we'll be ending with a nice cold brew at the pub, but we'll have to see whether it's open or not because it is such a small town, so it may not be. It isn't too cold today either, which is good. However, it is very windy, so I think when we get down to the coast, it'll be even windier, so we'll have to see. But it's not too bad a view to wake up to, but let's now head over to our first spot, which is the Bicheno Blowhole. So from the lodge, we literally just walked around the corner and you'll find the Foreshore Footway. So hopefully this will take us down towards the blowhole. And I believe this goes all the way around the coast. So hopefully we get to see some stunning sights. So this is actually the first Christmas I've ever had to put sun cream on, which is actually crazy because obviously in the UK, the UV is probably 1 right now during Christmas Day, whereas here it is 5. So it's still not super high. However, if you're in mainland Australia, it'd probably be a lot higher. But the walk is stunning so far. Just look at the bay there. Incredible. And you might be able to see as well, there's a lot of places which have this red rock, and apparently it's because it is granite. So we'll take a look around towards the blowhole in just a second and see whether it is exactly the same colour. But this is the sort of track which we are walking on, and we've been trying to spot any sort of little huts and stuff that the penguins might be living in, because there might be a couple of chicks waiting for their mum to come home this evening to feed them. This is a really cool experience, walking along the rocks up to the blowhole. There's a trail path which you can take further up, but we thought it'd be quite cool to walk along the rocks. We've seen a few other people do it too, so hopefully it should be fairly safe to do so. The reason for the red colour in the rocks is that there's a lot of iron around here. So basically the iron has oxidised, which gives it that reddish brown colour. So that's pretty cool to see too. I have no idea what is going on with these two seagulls right now, but one's just stood on the back of the other and making loads of noise. I don't know whether that's a mating ritual or whether they're just playing. I have no idea. We've made it to Bicheno Blowhole, where waves forces water and air through a tiny small hole in the granite rock, leading to a spray like this one. 3, 2, 1. That was a really cool spectacle to see, and it's just crazy how strong the waves must be to be able to blow all of that air and water into the air. But we're now making our 5-minute walk to the next stop, which is the Cove. So we're going to go back onto the trail path. We're going to start on the rocks here, head onto the trail and make our way over. Our next stop is the Bicheno Foreshore Footway Cove, which is apparently a calm little bay which is perfect for swimming as the rocks are very smooth down under. Now, by the looks of it, if you went to swim in that today, you'd probably be battered by the waves and slung into rocks. So I highly recommend not doing it when it is super windy, but it's beautiful to just stand here and have a look. You can sometimes see other people as well, look, climbing along the rocks over there, and then the blowhole is literally just over there. So it's only a 5-minute walk to get to this bay, but look at the size of this wave coming in right now. Imagine if someone was swimming in this, they just get battered by the wave and slung into the rocks. It looks like surfing weather right now, but I did actually have a look a couple of the Google reviews where they're taking some photos and stuff, and it looked a lot calmer. But we're now going to make our way to our next stop, so we're going to follow the path and we should get there in about 5 to 10 minutes. We are now looking out over Governor Island Marine Reserve, which is that small little rock which you may be able to see in the distance over there, and it's basically a protected area which is created to preserve Tasmania's rich marine life, including kelp forests and colourful reef species too. And we can currently see some penguins sat on the rock from here. I'm hoping that we can get some good footage on Beth's phone so I can zoom in, but this camera doesn't zoom in enough. But if you do want to see any penguins, you should go and check out yesterday's video, as we got right up close to them and they literally walked straight past our feet, which was really cool. But hopefully this evening we might get to see a couple more on Diamond Island, which is just a little bit further around, and you can only visit it during low tide as it makes a little sand spit which you can walk on. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But it's really cool to just see all the penguins on the rock in the distance, just enjoying life away from all the humans. So it turns out that this is the main bit of the island, which is here just in front of us, and then there's the other little bits which are down there, which we just saw the penguins on earlier. But it doesn't look like there's any penguins on that one, but it's got more of the shrubbery and trees. So what's also good to know is that there are actually restaurants on the side. So there's a seafood restaurant, and then there's single malt whiskey as well if you want whiskey in just behind it. So some couple of nice places to go for food and drink on an evening. However, because it is Christmas Day, I believe those two are probably going to be closed. The next stop is the Whalers Lookout, named after Bicheno's whaling past. So we're going to climb up the hill, which is just in front of us here. It's only going to take us about 10 minutes, but from there we should get amazing views over Bicheno and also the Tasman Sea. So let's make our way up, and hopefully it should be an easy climb. So we were reading up on a bit of the history down at the bottom, and it was telling us about all of the whales and the seals which were killed in Bicheno in the 1800s, and they actually killed all the whales to extinction. So this hill that we're going up to right now, this lookout, was basically used to look out for the whales, so they could see the spouts from the whales, tell the people down below, they'd get their boats and go and kill them. And unfortunately, they killed them to extinction. We're not quite at the top, I don't think. I think the top might be behind us over there, so we'll go over there in just a second. But they've got a viewpoint over the Bicheno side. Now take a look at this view. This is insane. Got to be some of the best views I've ever seen here in Tasmania. Just look at that. You've got the sea, mountains in the background over there. You've got the mountains over here. You've got the Bicheno Bay area with the beautiful white beaches down there. You've got all the accommodation. Obviously, it's pretty flat apart from the hills in the background. It looks incredible. They've got like tennis courts and stuff. Insane. But there's so many lodges, so there must be quite a lot of tourists who come and stay here over the Christmas period. But that view is probably one of the best views I've ever seen. So this here is where they used to spot the whales from up on the hill, which is actually crazy to think that you can spot a whale from this distance. It just shows how big those whales must be. And then they'd raise a flag within the forest, and then basically the boats would know exactly whereabouts the whales are and go and hunt them down. And it actually says on here that humpback whales are now seen passing this area again. So they hunted them down to pretty much extinction, and now they are coming back because they know that they are safe to swim and migrate through this path. So that is good news, because it would have been quite sad if you never saw a whale from here again. And now we are on the opposite side. So Bicheno is just over there, and now behind us is the Governor Marine Island Reserve, which we were talking about earlier. So I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it is really cool just to be able to see it from above and to think just at how much marine life is around there right now. I'm hoping a little bit later on we'll actually go to a place where you can see under the water, and you might be able to see some of the marine life, which will be really cool. I don't know whether it's going to be open today, or I don't know whether it's just open to the public so they can go and see it whenever they'd like. But this so far has been an amazing experience, so visiting Bicheno is definitely a must. After the lookout, we headed back to the lodge for a bit of lunch, or it was mainly snacky things. We had sort of little tacos, nuts, crisps, salads, bit of everything really. And we've just noticed as well, as we're heading back out to our next stop, that they actually have under the lodges Don't know if you're going to be able to see this properly, but it's like little huts. And I think that might be for like penguins or other wildlife to sort of create a little house or hut underneath the hut. So that's pretty cool. So right by the whiskey distiller, they actually have this thing called the glass bottom boat, which you might be able to see on that sign just there. So they do go at 10 AM, 12 PM and 2 PM, weather permitting. And it's really cool. It's basically a boat that goes out into the water, and it's obviously got the glass bottom so you can see all of the wildlife in the reserve. And it goes out obviously to the island there, which we were talking about earlier, the Governor's Island. But that would be a really cool thing to do. It's a shame again that the whiskey's closed because it is Christmas Day, otherwise we could have come down here and had a quick try of the whiskey. But we're now going to make our way back onto the Foreshore Trail across to Peggy's Point. So this is our next spot, Peggy's Point, and it's just started spitting too, and it is a lot windier now, as you may actually be able to hear. But look at how amazing it is. It's a large granite rock here on the corner, shaped by the Southern Ocean. So it's a beautiful view. You sometimes get to see waves crashing into the rocks too, but let me show you up at the top of here where you can see the spectacular view of Bicheno. Look at that. Amazing. Some of these lodges which are being built right in front of us over there, that'd be pretty cool to stay in one of those once they are done. But as you can probably hear, it is super windy at this point because obviously the wind is just traveling straight over the rocks and it's not looking good. Looks like it might rain any second now, but thankfully we've got the pub stop coming up very soon. But we've got one more stop before that, which is the beach. Our next stop is Waubs Beach with a beautiful, almost white sands and crystal clear blue waters. Now the reason it's named Waubs Beach is because it was named after Waubs Beach, who is an Aboriginal lady who went out into the sea to save two fishermen who were stranded after their boat capsized during bad weather. So she was then remembered and they named this beach after her, which is a really nice and thoughtful thing. There's also a memorial up at the top which has her name on it too. So definitely something that should be done, especially it was during the time where people were fighting against the Aboriginals. The sea does look really inviting right now, and if I had my swim shorts with me, I maybe would debate on getting it in. It's just so cold right now, to be fair, really windy, but the blue skies are coming back out, which is good news. There's also some really nice places to stay over there too, very modern apartments, and you can obviously see someone just there that is packing away, so I don't want to record them too much, but apparently, I think it might be around here, yeah, there's a warm shower, so you can jump into the sea, go out up to that little section which I was just talking about there, and they've got warm showers, so you can have a nice warm shower after jumping in the sea. I know that a Christmas tradition in the UK, especially in Brighton, is everyone sort of jumps into the sea and comes back out on Christmas Day, which is a really cool tradition. Maybe they should get this on doing it here too. So that's the beach, but now is the moment of truth. Can we get a cold beer at the pub or will it be shut? We are buzzing. We've made it into the Longboat Tavern and got ourselves a Bicheno beer and best got ourselves a hard rated orange. And it was actually going to close in half an hour, so we got pretty lucky. It shuts at 5. The Christmas dinners were apparently packed too. We asked about them, and so that must have been a good time too. They both came to $25, so it's 2 schooners, so they're smaller than a pint. But cheers to everyone and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We have stopped off and had our drink, and now we are heading over to Redhill Beach, which will be the next stop. So we're heading out. Look at how beautiful that is. And we got so lucky because there was quite a few people who sort of came up to the pub and were like, oh, are you serving food and drink? And they'd stopped serving. So we managed to just slip in time. And so that has made it the perfect Christmas. You can't not have a drink at the pub on Christmas. We are now at our penultimate stop, the Redbill Beach, and it's named after the red-billed gulls. So you may see a lot of them flying around here. I actually can't see any right now, but that's what they've been named after. And again, it is another beautiful white sandy beach with the blue waters, and it stretches a lot longer than the previous beach we went to see. There's a few crazy people over there who have decided to jump into the water, but fair play to them. If it's their Christmas edition, that is a pretty cool one. And also it's funny because there's a defibrillator just as you get onto the beach, and that's probably because people go in and they get a heart attack from just how cold the water is. But we're going to make our way over to our final stop. We're not too sure whether we're actually going to be able to get onto the island or not, because you can only get on there during low tide. We've tried to time it, but it might get a little bit late, so we'll have to see. And this is our final stop, Diamond Island. And unfortunately, as you can see, the tide hasn't quite come out yet, so we can't actually cross it to the island. So we're not going to see it today, but if you've got time to, I definitely recommend doing it. It's got the penguin colonies, all live on there because there's no predators, so they all opt to live on there or around the shores, which we have just been walking along. So it'd be really cool to go on there and see all the natural wildlife. You can see all the trees, the green, and then there's also all the seagulls and birds over there too. So definitely recommend going if you've got the chance to, but we're going to head back now. It's about an hour walk back to our lodge, and then we'll go and get some food and have our Aussie Christmas dinner. But in terms of our favourite stops of the day, number one has got to be Whalers Lookout. Insane views all over Bicheno. Number two, I'd probably say, is Waubs Beach, which was amazing too. So that had the white sands and the blue waters. And then number three has got to be the pub, because we were expecting it to be closed. We turned up and we got a nice cold pint, and Beth got a nice cold hard rated. So that's probably our ratings for the places. You'll have to let me know what you think down in the comment section below, which was your favourite on the screen. So now almost back, we're going to show you the bit of the town too, so you've got an idea of what the town looks like if you come at a time that's not during Christmas, because obviously things will be open. And then we've got the Christmas dinner, like I said earlier. You've come up to this little podium, and I'm going to show you the rest of Bicheno, the main high street, and what there is. So over there, you've got a pharmacy, you've got a couple of restaurants and things like that. And then just behind this tree, which you can't actually see right now, is the restaurant we went to yesterday and the penguin place where we went to yesterday. So you can check that vlog out. And then they've also obviously got the post office, news agency, estate agents, and some nice little cafes on the end too. And if you do come during Christmas, one place you can go for food is the Chinese, because that is still open. But apart from that, everything seems pretty closed. So if you've come to Bicheno, forgotten to buy any food, and everything's now closed, the Chinese is always open for you. Now it is the big event. So it is Christmas dinner time, and usually what I'd have is turkey, veg, cauliflower cheese, stuffing, all of the best bits from a UK Christmas dinner. However, we tried to go for an Aussie one, so you'll have to let me know down in the comments if you're from Australia whether we've done a good job or not. So what we have got to begin with is the bao buns. We've got some pork bao buns which are here. We've got ourselves some prawns too, which look really nice, so I'm looking forward to having some of those prawns. Then we've gone for the barbecue section, so we've got the cheese on the burgers. Beth's obviously got it without the cheese. And then we've also got sausages to make hot dogs too. Then we've got the buns, and then all the trimmings to go with the buns. So looking forward to eating it all. I'll let you know what we think of it and whether we're missing our Christmas dinner from home or not. We're also drinking hard rated, something that you cannot get in the UK. Tastes just like Fanta. If you ever had it before, it's incredible. So this is probably a bit lethal for us tonight. But cheers and Merry Christmas to everyone, and I hope you all had a good day too. The Christmas meal was delicious, really enjoyed it, but as usual for most Christmas meals, we had way too much food, so it's going to have to go on for like the next 2 days, especially the bao buns and the prawns. There are still about 20 of those in total left, so I've got loads of them to have for lunch over the next 2 days. Also really cool is the wallabies started appearing just literally in front of the accommodation. They were hopping around, so that was really cute to see some of them. I couldn't really get too good a footage though, because it was sort of at the dusk time, so it was getting pretty dark. So the camera wasn't great at picking that up. However, if you did enjoy this one, please do smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. It goes a long way to supporting the channel, and I'm trying to improve my videos each week. So subscribing and letting me know down in the comments how I can improve the videos would be amazing too. Yesterday though, we headed from Hobart all the way to Bicheno. So if you do want to check that video out, you can go and have a look at that one there. It was really cool, seeing loads of amazing spots, and it's definitely one of the best drives which I've ever done. Or you can go and check out all of my other vlogs in the worldwide vlog playlist, which includes all of the vlogs from the Tasmania, Christmas down under, and plenty more from loads of other countries around the world too. And I'll see you all tomorrow, where we'll actually be heading from here all the way to Launceston. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.